This episode of The Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by Executive Suite Squared by ATG, offering private and shared office space with 24/7 secured access, 3 state-of-the-art conference rooms, shared lounge and cafe area, receptionist, printing center, and fiber optic internet access with Wi-Fi throughout. Conveniently located just south of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue exit at 2901 Carlson Drive in Hammond, Indiana. For information on how you can become a member, go to executivesuites2.com or call 219-844-2901. Executive Suites Squared, home to the Bill and Callie Show.
The Bill and Kelly Show is recorded at Studio A at Executive Suite Squared in beautiful Hammond, Indiana. Now, here's Bill and Kelly.
Hi everybody, welcome. Today we have the very handsome Speros Batistatos, and right here, it's him. And he is in charge of like everything?
No. Just the South Shore, the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority.
Well, which is pretty much
told
everything.
You were like the king of the region.
He is, kind of, sort of.
Just all things hospitality.
Okay,
all things
great.
Hospitality in Northwest Indiana.
We try to work with everyone, with all the cities and towns and hotels and motels and restaurants, casinos, golf courses, retail outlets, parks. That's kind of our area where we put a package together and a product and try to entice the traveling public to come by and give us a shot.
And you've got that really cool office over there at the
Right
Welcome
across
Center,
the street
right on
from-
right
over there.
94.
That's an awesome
It's
office.
a really awesome building.
Building is now 21 years old.
Wow, really?
This December 1st, it'll be 21. It looks great. We have an outstanding and very dedicated staff
Yeah,
that
you do.
really keeps it looking tip-top, and we're very proud of it, and the visitors like it. We do about 300,000 a year through the front door, 350 some years, so we're very proud of what we do.
And all kinds of information about the different counties in the area and what you can go see and do and hear and
All the
that good
counties
stuff.
through, there's a lot of information in it.
Yes.
Not only for Indiana, but we have some Chicago, some Michigan. We're here to answer the traveler's question, and you can't do that by saying, well, no, we're just Lake County. Well, the traveler doesn't want to hear that. They want their questions answered, so we try to have a very well-trained staff and have a lot of information available, and that's what we do.
And you have some really fun things there at that convention center area in the back. You've got that car show going on right now.
We do, in our exhibit hall, yes.
Yes, at Christmas time, it's always lots of fun with the Christmas story that Gene Shepard wrote.
Yes, ma'am. The Christmas story comes home. We have an intellectual property agreement with Warner Brothers, and we've been presenting this now for, I want to say 12 years, maybe 13 years. And it's really been, we'll do 35 to 40,000 people through the doors.
Everybody looks forward to
in
that
about
every
40
year.
days, and we sell a lot of Christmas story merchandise, more leg lamps than you can count. We are your destination for Christmas story merchandise in the winter. And we just have a lot of fun. It's a dynamic organization, a lot of great professionals to get to work with. Was just talking with one of my board members that was here, a very dedicated board that really have the community's interests at heart. And so there he is right now, but as a talented board.
That's right.
And they do a lot of great work, and we like to make a difference. We think we're making an economic difference for the community.
So, if because we have a lot of towns and cities in the Lake County area, what is your advice be to, like, if a lot of towns, their chief interest is, number one, is support the community, the residents of the community. But what would you recommend as far as economic development, something to draw people in?
We've got a lot of very talented mayors right now in Northwest Indiana. I mean, we really do. You take a look at, a couple of them who just absolutely have embraced hospitality, who've jumped all in. Joe Stahura and what he's doing in Whiting, the Mascot Hall of Fame, the lakefront development, the walkability and attractiveness of 119th Street, the facade program he's doing there. I mean, these things are exactly how you do both. You create a quality of life, you create a business environment that helps your resident, but you can also then attract someone who doesn't live here, who's earned their money somewhere else, whose garbage you don't have to pick up, streets you don't have to plow, children you don't have to educate, and they come and spend their money in your community, and that money spends a lot further than the resident money. I would tell you the same thing. Dave Uran has jumped completely in Crown Point with Bulldog Park, the Dome, the number of sports tournaments we're doing down there. How that square looks different from when Mayor Uran came in 12 years ago is an incredible change on the attractiveness of his city.
Absolutely.
I would tell you where we're sitting here. Mayor Tom McDermott has done a great job in some of the facilities he's built, with the pavilion, the cube, the sports complex, what's the relationships there. So, we have this great class of mayors. Matt Murphy, who's coming in now in Valpo after 16 years of John Costas, and what that downtown looks like. So, it's less advice and it's more taking the product that they're building, and then our job becomes taking it to market.
Right.
Their expertise is to make it happen financially, make it work, figure out their tax base, do what they need to do for their citizens, and then they look to us to go, okay, we've built all of this. You guys take it to market and bring us special events, bring us visitors, bring us sports tournaments, and help us generate more money with the money we've spent. That's kind of the short story.
Now, are there events that you put on yourself, brew fests or any special events? I know you have an award ceremony.
We've really gotten out of producing special events. It's just in today's litigious society, we ran the air show for many years, and knock on wood, we didn't have many problems. But, it's producing our own events is something that we try to stay out of that business and leave it to the community to tell us what they want, and then we will market it and promote it and help them with our technical expertise. You're referring to the Rose Awards, which is less, yes, it's an event, but it's not that kind of an event.
All right.
It is a gathering once a year of the great stories of our industry, of the exceptional frontline talent that people come in and how they serve the traveling public. And it's my favorite day of the year. We'll get 100, 150 nominations. We'll probably go knock on the doors of 40 of them and tell them that they're a finalist, and everybody's invited. And that night we pick the dozen roses. And we look forward to working with you guys to help make that night even more special.
We're excited.
That's a great event, and I wish more people would come out and see that, because that is really the story of our industry, and helps us break down that paradigm that somehow our industry is just entry level burger flippers. Well, no, there are burger flippers in our industry.
Absolutely.
I started mowing the lawn at the Holiday Star Theater. I'm the story of a entry level person, but that's the story of our industry. That's how you start. That's how you grow.
Right.
And we're very proud of that story. We're proud of those genetics in our leaders of today, where you talk to any one of them. They were a salad prep chef. They were a server. They were whatever, and now they're the VPs, the presidents, the general managers. That's who we are, and we're very, very proud of that story.
Yeah. And the festivals that this region has, going all the way from Valparaiso with the Popcorn Fest that draws people from all over the Midwest, and you have the Festival of the Lakes here. You've got the Hobart Lake Festival.
Yeah, Pierogi Fest.
And the Pierogi Fest.
We have a great summer list of attractions. Our participation in those are building out the websites, communicating on social media, getting that word out. I mean, when we get behind your festival or event, our marketing and PR power brings about another $25,000 to $35,000 into your budget.
Yeah.
So our hotels are full that time of year, which is why we don't spend a lot of cash against those things. But we bring all of our resources to bear outside of writing a check, with our staff, with our expertise, with our website, our social media, and anything else that someone would ask us to
put some fuel in.
Yeah, we try to do that, and now we're really focusing on trying to build our business in October, November, December, January. Hobart, we worked with Mayor Brian Snedecor and Peggy, the superintendent at Hobart High School, or Hobart School System Buffington, to produce the very first ever college bowl game in the state of Indiana. America's Crossroads Bowl just took place on Pearl Harbor Day last year, and we had a huge turnout. We figure about, for a December Saturday in Hobart, about 1,000 people. That's great for an inaugural event.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to see more energy in the coming years, is finding those fall, winter, spring events where our hotels need the business, our restaurants need the business. Speaking of restaurants, we just concluded our 2-week promotion of Savor the South Shore. 38 restaurants that offered pre-formed menus at a great price. So if you've never been to this restaurant or that, Savor allows you to get out there and try it. So that's where we're focusing now, is really on getting business to our members and businesses when they need it the most.
Promoting the events and helping them draw people in.
Correct.
And then that's awesome.
Correct.
And and there's been we've witnessed a lot of that. I've gone up on your website and you could find out just about everything going on in this stretch.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah, and
It better.
You know, and that's why we wanted to interview
better.
you in front of the 8094, because this kind of depicts what's going on.
That's
the
right.
economic throughput here is, the trucks going by. It all indicates good things. The economic trends going on in the area.
Well, I remember a quote, and I have so much respect for him, but Congressman Visclosky was speaking one day, and he said, Spiro, I could talk to hundreds of my peers in Congress, and any one of them would kill for an interstate to come through their jurisdiction, a rail line, or a body of water like we have. He says, we have them all.
We do.
Yeah.
We have, 3 interstates, we have countless rail lines, we're on the Lake Michigan, and we're a stone's throw from Chicago. He says, my peers in Congress, many, many, many of them, would just die to have those kinds of opportunities to change their community. And I think we take it for granted so often, and we miss really what this is here and the commerce that it represents and the money that it moves. We just, we tend to look at it as, the Borman's stuck today. Well, there's a lot of money sitting out there that we have to figure out how to get.
Well, and the other thing that's happening to this area of the region is the transformation from the Rust Belt into something a bit more different, entertainment, which they're not used to. That's historically where roots all come from, steel.
And you know what? The funny thing is that even after being in this job, I'm starting my 31st year with the organization. People understand steel. And when an average Lake County resident opens up the paper and sees that, steel output is up 2% or it's down 5%, or, they've got 100 years or more of history with understanding those metrics. When we talk to them still this day about what it means to not have a convention center, they're like, well, you know what, if you want a convention center, go find a rich guy to build it. It doesn't work that way. I mean, look at Indianapolis. Those are all facilities built with public money. Look at Fort Wayne. Look at Bloomington. Look at Evansville. The public makes those investments because a convention delegate will spend roughly $275 to $325 a day.
Right.
Every day they're in your town. They are the most lucrative spender while they visit you. We don't have any. We don't have any convention delegates. Bruce White tore the Radisson down. The Radisson wasn't a convention center, it was a conference center. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, the input that we had to our economy from there sits idle. And so when we talk about, wanting and needing to build a convention center, it's not because we just think it would be nice. It is a huge economic hole right now in our economy.
Absolutely.
That we're not seeing those 100,000, 150,000 delegates coming through every year, whether it's the Indiana Bankers Association, the Indiana Realtors, the Association of Indiana Municipalities, whatever it is. Those people spend a lot of money every day, and we are not getting that fair share of the pie.
I agree.
You look at what's happened in Indianapolis when they started dropping the convention center downtown, and you look at restaurants, what benefited restaurants like St. Elmo's. Oh my gosh!
Well, I mean, just
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
thing went nuts. I mean, it's just you can't get a room. Case in point, the General Assembly is ending early next week because there's a citywide convention in town. The convention calendar is literally driving what's going on in the city all the way down to when they've got to adjourn the General Assembly.
Yeah.
So, that's the economic power that again, 31 years later, am trying to convince the average resident of the South Shore is a worthy investment of time and energy.
Right. And so you look at what happens in Chicago, you look at what happens in Indianapolis. We should be using those as models.
And we're right between the two of them.
Exactly.
And the more, the pricier they get, the more the hotel rates go up. when you have a super, if somebody would have
more
told me
lucrative
growing
we would
up,
look.
yeah, if somebody would have told me the very first time my dad took me to Indianapolis to be a page in the Senate, and it was a seedy downtown back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
If somebody would have told me that 40 years later, this city, Indianapolis, would be hosting a Super Bowl, you'd have called them a liar. And look at the transformation of
Oh, yeah.
Indianapolis in 40 years. Now, everybody up here say, well, this, well, that. No, you know what? They have a 3.25% food and beverage tax. They have an 8% hotel motel tax. And they took all of these monies and plowed them into facilities that bring more people there. And that's the point.
Yeah.
Right. And we're sitting out here prime. We have transportation from Chicago brings people here, right in East Chicago and Hammond, and so access is not an issue. In fact, that's one of our benefits is access.
When we had the Radisson property open for the many years it was open, the number one sales feature that we had before Indianapolis and Fort Wayne grew as big as they did, people loved coming to Lake County. Why? Because we're 20 minutes away from Chicago.
Right.
So it was a way to see the big city, but still pay reasonable prices in Lake County. And the average person from Evansville or from Bloomington or from Terre Haute can't get to Chicago every day. But if they come to Lake County for a convention, all of a sudden they can hop, skip, and jump over the border, have a day in the city, and still spend their money here. And
Or
so,
go to the new national.
or the new
state
national park.
national
But
and
it's
And
we're located in a great area to take
Yeah.
advantage of that.
Absolutely.
and talking about transportation, we bring a Mecca here to start fueling some visitors. That airport may see some
I
sustained
hope so.
traffic.
I hope so. We've
I
been
know.
through 5 false starts at the airport.
Yeah.
And far be it, I don't have all the answers, but I think where we should be looking at the airport is not passenger traffic, but freight. When you look at the skill set of our workers, when you look at the land that's available near the airport, when you look at, we start talking about the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. We could take a lot of freight out of the hands of Chicago, let them focus on what they do well, which is passenger,
Transportation, yeah.
and let us do what we do really well, which is all the infrastructure and all of the land to do freight. And we have a talent pool. We have a job pool where we could respond to that industry very quickly. And I'm not saying we couldn't respond to passenger. I'm simply saying we've got the talent and the assets that we need to do freight. Why aren't we getting serious about freight? And that's
I do
to me.
miss Pan Am because
Well-
I used to fly from here. I lived in Sanford, Florida for 9 years, even though I'm from here.
So you were the
and
one.
it was great going back and forth.
She was the one.
You were the one.
She's the one that kept them alive for
You
a while.
can't run an airline on one person.
I know.
I'm
Sorry, guys.
kidding. But we've had 5 false starts there. Let's get serious about looking at other markets that make that more viable.
Yes.
Right now it's a well-funded public airport that basically does a lot of private traffic. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a rich guy with your own plane, Gary's a wonderful airport. We're not having the kind of economic impact that we should be having there, and our organization looks forward to working with whoever it is to bring that to a greater level of impact for the community. The runway's been expanded, so things are getting there. Now we just we got to finish it.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
man,
I do know
this-
that Lily LaRue flew into the Gary Airport. She's
Oh,
the makeup
yes.
artist to the
Yeah.
stars.
Lily LaRue.
Yeah.
Lily LaRue, makeup
That's-
artist to the
We
stars.
have-
and
That's
it
why I
turns
don't know
out-
her.
We
Well,
have-
you know what? It turns out who
Could she do
her
something
biggest
with this?
client. She probably
Uh,
could, but her biggest client is Peppa Pig.
and animated characters. Think about it for a
Peppa
while.
Pig.
Just don't
saying.
spend too much time. We have some unique characters that come on the show periodically.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have
Lily
Lily
LaRue is
LaRue,
one of them.
Joey Cannoli, who's the mob recycling boss for the mob. They come on and off our show periodically.
Joey Cannoli.
Joey Cannoli.
Oh yeah,
And Lily
He,
LaRue.
he handles all the recycling for the mob. As he says, the mob's been putting biodegradable stuff in the ground for years.
So he handles that.
Yeah,
He
does.
handles that.
He
There you
handles
go.
all that
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we have some characters that come on.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, thanks to us being highly unmedicated, we have some very good characters.
That's why I enjoy your company so much.
Thank you, darling.
Well, listen, getting back to the Rose, we are so excited you're going to allow us to come in and maybe interview some of the
Oh, we'd
more
love to.
people.
It's the best
we
night
love
of the year.
doing that.
It really is. It's a wonderful night. You'll hear great stories. it's the real compassion of our industry, and it's the stories of why people why they love working in this business. And we really make a big deal out of it. Every Rose winner gets about $1,500 in gifts.
Oh, wow, that's great.
From local businesses. They're put together in baskets and customized stuff with our name on it. And, it's really an attempt to focus on the outstanding service that our people are giving to the guests. We kick off every Rose Award with bad service videos, which is a lot of fun. Every year we scour movies and TV shows to find instances of bad service, so that you can juxtapose the great stuff that our industry is doing. So we have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we're excited that you're allowing us to do that.
And if you're not familiar with the Rose Awards,
you visit our website and look up and make a nomination today.
Make a nomination.
Yeah.
You get great service. Just go to our website. You'll look it up, and it's Rose Awards, / whatever. But just go to our website, type in Rose Awards, you'll find it.
And it's everyone from a waiter, waitress, anyone involved in the service.
Any frontline person.
Yeah.
Any frontline person. You cannot be an owner or manager to win a Rose Award. You must be a frontline employee. And we've got great sponsors. We have a gathering of spa services that's done in Crown Point. For them, they'll go in and get facials or get their hair done.
Oh, nice.
And it's just absolutely wonderful. And we've got gifts from, you name it. I can't tell you how many restaurants, microbreweries. The Bat Company in Valpo will do customized little miniature
Who's
things.
your Bat Company?
We do we do cutting boards that are emblazoned with the logo and their names on it, and
Cool.
So there's a lot of fun
great
stuff.
thing.
So if anyone out there is interested in nominating someone, they can just go to your website.
24 hours a day,
fill it out.
365 days a year. Yep.
Yeah,
And
so-
if you're a business that hears this for the first time somehow and wants to give 12 gift certificates, 16 because we have Rise Awards too, but a handful of gift certificates or prizes to these people, we would love that as well. Give us a call because we want to make this the greatest experience we can for our frontline people.
Yeah.
Cool. And with that, we're going to start wrapping things up here. We appreciate you coming out.
Oh, yeah,
happy to do it.
absolutely.
Yes, it is.
It's so fun.
We'll keep in contact and maybe have you on again and keep an update on what's going on in the
And
area.
go to the website and see all the fun things they've got going on in the exhibit center. I know they've got a bird thing coming up.
Yeah.
All kinds
Wild
of good stuff.
birds, and
Yeah.
they've got the cars going, and
the
just
car show's
amazing
going till
things.
April.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
And
month.
then the bird show is going to come in
Well,
after.
that's
And we're
coming
working
in
with
now.
Humane Indiana on a number of things, and we've
Great.
No, they're great
sponsored
folks, yeah.
Snowy the Owl.
Oh, yeah.
So
We
cool.
love Snowy.
we've got a lot of great partnerships, and we're having a lot of fun.
So go to that website
State
and
of
check
mind.
out everything.
State of mind. It was
we
going to
go.
make me nuts if I didn't tell, but at the State of Mind Spa,
There we go.
they give every one of the nominees, not the winners, all
Oh my
40 of the
gosh.
nominees. Yes,
Man, that's
services. So
amazing.
State of Mind is
Anybody wants to nominate me, so I can go get
what-
one.
a wonderful experience there. So thank you.
All right, great.
amazing.
Well, with that, we'll say goodbye for now.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see
See
you.
you.
This episode of the Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by Executive Suite Squared by ATG, offering private and shared office space with 24/7 secured access, 3 state-of-the-art conference rooms, shared lounge and cafe area, receptionist, printing center, and fiber optic internet access with Wi-Fi throughout. Conveniently located just south of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue exit at 2901 Carlson Drive in Hammond, Indiana. For information on how you can become a member, go to executivesuites2.com or call 219-844-2901. Executive Suites Squared, home to the Bill and Callie Show.